Hi, I'm Jim Carey, Executive Director of the New Jersey Lottery. I am joined today by two of our partners from the Council on Compulsive Gambling of New Jersey, Felicia Grandin, the Executive Director, and Luis Delwerb, Prevention and Treatment Administrator. We're here to launch our third crucial conversation. Felicia, could you share today's topic?
Today we're going to discuss how to have a crucial conversation with your teen about problem gambling.
Luis, we have discussed how to have a crucial conversation and how to have one with your partner. What is different about having a crucial conversation with your teen?
Well, here you are. If you are a parents, a set of parents, and you know what, your teen is having issue conversation, again, you want to make sure you want to educate yourself on certain things. However, this is where you need to come into an agreement with your partner. Okay, this is how we're going to go. Because if you go into a conversation with a teen, especially about gambling, and you're not in total, in agreement with how it's going to go, the conversation may not go as well as you want. Because your partner might say something, and then you might say something that's going to contradict that, and now the teen is going to see and it's going to be like, okay, there's no union here. So sometimes that'll work against you. So after you educate yourself on the situation, and you and your partner have agreed, okay, listen, we have a potential problem here. Make sure you sit down between you and your spouse, have a conversation between you two on how this is going to go. Who's going to present what, and how it's going to be presented. And if there's consequences, if there are consequences to be added to this conversation, then you're both in agreement what those consequences are.
When you talk about consequences, can you elaborate as to what that means?
Well, for instance, we're talking about a teen. That covers a wide range. Most gamblers, most teenage gamblers, and we think that, we don't think teens like an 18-year-old or 19-year-old. We think of them as an adult, but they're still in their teen. These might be individuals that are in college, okay, but you're paying the bill, you're supporting. So some of the consequences could be that, you're cutting back. Maybe you're paying for their phone bill. Maybe you want to cut back at that. Maybe you're paying for certain things around the house, or if they're away to college, you give them, like, let's say, a credit card that you made them authorized user. Well, maybe you're going to cut them off from that credit card. Those type of consequences.
Teen brains are still developing. What role does that play in this situation?
It's a big role. We have to understand that, it is said that by the age of 7, a human being have developed a belief system. However, with brain development it's still going on, for male up to the age of 25, females 21. Although there's still brain development, we have to be very careful on what kind of mental nutrition we give our children. So we want to make sure that we send them the right information, that we give them the right example. Because it makes no sense for us to confront our teen about gambling when mom might be buying excessive lottery tickets. Mom is not looking at this as fun. Or dad is on his phone betting. Although they think that, oh no, it's under control. I do this as a form of entertainment. That child may be looking at it as a way to make an income. So although you're having that conversation, you also have to be careful on what you're modeling.
So how should a parent start this conversation?
So once you sit down, once your partner come to an agreement, and when you sit down with your child, again, it's like all the other conversations. You want to make sure that you are creating a supportive and a safe environment for your teen child to express themselves. You don't want to be confrontational. You don't want to be blaming. You don't want to come at the child in such a way where, yes, we're together and it's us against you. Okay? Here, we also want to use a lot of I statements. What I have noticed from you, the changes that I have seen. I see that you're no longer enjoying the stuff that you enjoy anymore. Why have your friends, changed? All of a sudden, you're not hanging out with the same people before. So once you have all that in mind, you sit the child down and you let them know exactly everything on both. Don't just let one parent do the talking. Both parents must do the talking. Take turn, but they both must talk. They got to be inclusive in the conversation, because you don't want the child to see one as the one that's coming at me, while the other one is taking a seat back. So that's what you want to do. You want to prepare that, okay, what part are you going to cover? What part am I going to cover? How are we going to approach them? And have in hand whatever it is that you need, like bills, copy the bills, credit card bills, maybe things that you have seen him throw away or her throw away. You want to make sure that they're there with you. Then, because you don't want to make things like, okay, I seen this, but the child is like, well, you're not showing it to me. Well, look at this bill. Please explain this to me. That type of thing.
What kinds of conversations should a parent have with the teen gambler once their gambling problem is out in the open?
One of the things the parents will have to remember, just like anything else, the child is going to go through certain emotions as well. Okay, so the child is going to think that they're getting away with something. They might not see it as a problem. They just think something's going on. And the minute you confront it, you're gonna see certain things that are gonna come into play. First, the child may deny the fact that they're doing what you say that they're doing. Then, if that doesn't work, then the child's gonna come at you and it's gonna give you reasons why, or excuses why they're doing what they're doing. Then they may go into a stage where now this is okay. I'm not getting through them. So now that the child is going to come at you. Well, the reason I'm doing this is because you're not giving me no money. The reason why I have to come here and try to do this because you're not supporting me the way you should be supporting me. And if that doesn't work, then the child's going to get aggressive and confrontational. Just like an adult gambler. They're going to try to come at you because they want you to back off. They want you to leave them alone. Okay? When you don't, then the child might break down. And again, this is where you're going to see the crying. This is where you're going to see the apologizing. This is where things come in. And then once you get to that stage, then this is where you can make some progress. But just know there's going to be different changes and different mood swings and different attitudes that are going to come at you within that short period of time.
So after talking to a teen and talking to a sponsor or a professional, should you discuss the issue with the teen's siblings or other family members or his friends?
Yes, most definitely. Now, when you talk about friends, that's going to cover something else. But with the gambler, with your teen gambler, you definitely want to have a conversation with teens depending on their age. Like the youngest siblings, you might not have to have the conversation with the younger siblings. If they're in the adolescence year. But if the gambler has older siblings, people that they can go to for money, then you want to make sure that they're part of that conversation. Okay? You want to let them know what's going on. You want to let them know that, listen, your brother, your sister is struggling with something, and we need to support them. So you want to bring them into the conversation. You don't want to have the conversation with the siblings and the gambler in the same room. This is a conversation that you will have separately. Another person that you want to talk to are the grandparents. Okay, the grandparents is very important for them to be on the same page with the parents. Because grandparents, they tend to cuddle the grandkids. They want to make sure, even more so than the parents, they want to make sure that they're okay. So if the teen goes to the grandparents for money, the grandparents more than likely will give them the money. So you want to bring the grandparents in, uncles, aunts, close cousins, close extended family. You want to all bring them into the conversation. Now, when you're talking about with other friends, within the conversation that you're having with your teen, that teen may reveal the fact that they have borrowed money from their friends. Now, if these friends are underage, it's important for you not to have the conversation directly with that friend. You want to make sure you include the parents. Before you approach the teen friend of your teen, you talk to the parents. Because, that can bring another situation. So yes, you want to bring anyone that's within that circle. You want to bring them into the conversation and just make them aware. Not in a shaming way, but just in an informative way to get everybody in the loop. And this will support the gambler.
So Luis, what's the most surprising thing that can come up during these conversations with your teen?
In my experience, the amount of debt that the teen is in. There are times that the teen will decide to come clean and open up to their parents. And there are some teens that might have a gambling debt or just a financial debt due to gambling that's over $100,000. And a parent might be like, oh my God, I didn't know. And you might ask, okay, well, where would a teen get such money? There are these credit card offers that teens get in the mail. And sometimes they will put this credit card offer, they'll cash in on these credit cards and they'll use them for gambling.
And you're talking about a teen that's in college right now, right?
Yes. Or even a teen that's home. Sometimes they'll do that. Yeah. Have you ever, I know someone who have gotten a credit card offer when they were 12 years old. They actually filled the application but lied about their age. And the credit card company approved the credit card. So the most surprising thing would be the amount of debt some of these teens can get into. So be prepared for that. If that happens, if a child divulges to you how much they're in debt, don't let it get you. Be ready. Be ready for whatever is to come. This way you don't have an outburst. You don't want to have an outburst as he's opening up to you or she's opening up to you, because that can make them shut down. So just be prepared for that. Don't act surprised. Don't get angry. Just take it as a matter of fact. And it'll be dealt with in time.
It will be dealt with in a matter of time, but it can take a lot of time and effort to fix things that have gone wrong.
It definitely will. And this is why, as a parent, we want to safeguard our kids' future. Because anything that they get into now it's easy for you to get into something really fast, but it's very hard and timely for you to get out of it. It takes time.
Well, Felicia and Luis, this has been another great conversation. I want to thank you both and the council for being a great partner with the New Jersey Lottery. Viewers, thank you for joining us. Next week's video is how to have a crucial conversation with yourself.